This was not just another sweet royal baby announcement, this was a carefully controlled reveal, wrapped in silence, symbolism, and one enormous question about what Princess Eugenie may really be telling the monarchy about the future. Because when King Charles's niece finally allowed the world to see what had been happening behind closed doors, the adorable name was only the beginning. Beneath it sat two countries, generations of royal history, family loyalties, and a decision that seemed to challenge the usual palace playbook. And it all began on August 3rd, nowhere near the flashing cameras of London. A baby arrived quietly, almost invisibly. Princess Eugenie and her husband Jack Brooksbank welcomed a healthy 6lb9 Oz baby girl inside a Lisbon hospital. And somehow, the public knew absolutely nothing. No dramatic crowd outside, no photographers waiting for that first glimpse, no traditional English medical center surrounded by royal watchers. Princess Eugenie had done the opposite of what everyone expected, choosing Portugal and distance instead of spectacle. Sources portrayed that choice as deliberate protection, because living between countries gave Princess Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank something the palace spotlight rarely offers: room to disappear. The birth happened safely, privately, peacefully, and then came the detail that turned simple privacy into a genuine royal mystery. They would not reveal the name. For 14 entire days, silence. Princess Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank simply let the speculation grow, while royal watchers refreshed feeds and waited for the announcement that usually comes almost immediately. Prince William and Kate Middleton had accustomed the public to hearing baby names within roughly 48 hours. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle had hardly created this kind of prolonged guessing game either. Yet, Princess Eugenie seemed determined to make the clock part of the story. Reports insisted this was no accidental delay. It looked calculated, controlled, almost defiant. The implication was that the family moment belonged to them first and the public second. And there was already precedent. When August arrived in 2021, 11 days passed before the full name appeared. Even royal history seemed to give the strategy cover, because late Queen Elizabeth II waited an entire month before revealing Prince Charles's name. That suddenly made the silence look less like hesitation and more like a statement. Princess Eugenie was not simply keeping people waiting. Princess Eugenie appeared to be reclaiming control over an intensely personal moment. Then, Instagram finally broke the silence, and the mystery became even bigger, because the name carried far more history than anyone had expected. Princess Eugenie unveiled Adelaide Elizabeth Anina Brooksbank, and instantly every part of the choice seemed to invite examination. Adelaide was not merely elegant. Adelaide carried royal echoes stretching back into the 19th century, directly invoking Queen Adelaide, the German-born queen consort married to King William IV. Even more intriguing was the personal trail linking that history to the wedding of Princess Eugenie. In 2018, Princess Eugenie wore antique diamond wheat earpieces connected to King William IV and Queen Adelaide, turning what might have looked like an obscure historical reference into something strangely intimate. But the name Adelaide also appeared to reach beyond Britain. Reports connected it with Maria Adelaide and Portuguese history, creating a symbolic nod toward the country where Princess Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank had chosen to build this quieter chapter of their lives. Suddenly, the name was doing two jobs at once, looking backward toward royal heritage while pointing directly toward a European future, outside the usual London bubble. Then came Elizabeth, perhaps the most emotionally loaded element of all. Elizabeth unmistakably carried the memory of Queen Elizabeth II into another generation, placing family history inside the baby's identity without requiring any elaborate palace ceremony. Princess Eugenie was following a deeply familiar pattern here. Alongside Princess Beatrice, Prince William, Princess Kate, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle, all connected through daughters carrying Queen Elizabeth II's iconic name. Yet even after Adelaide and Elizabeth appeared explainable, one piece remained deliberately mysterious: Anina. The palace offered no satisfying public decoding, while reports framed it as something personal to Princess Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank, a private tribute held close rather than handed over for public analysis. That detail may be the most revealing of all, because Princess Eugenie described the choice as honoring three people they love and admire, blending English and Portuguese meaning into one name. Baby Adelaide therefore arrived not merely as another child in an enormous royal family, but as the newest symbol of a family quietly constructing its own identity connected to tradition, yes, but increasingly unwilling to let tradition control every decision. And the deeper anyone looked at that name, the harder it became to ignore what was coming next. Because naming a royal baby is one thing, but navigating the unwritten palace rules surrounding identity, status, and family history is where this story becomes explosive. And this is where the sweet baby name story suddenly turns into something far more complicated. Because inside the royal family, picking a name is never simply about what sounds beautiful. One wrong choice can collide with generations of tradition, buried sensitivities, and names the palace would rather never hear again. According to sources, Prince William, Kate Middleton, and even Prince Harry reportedly discussed their preferred choice choices informally with late Queen Elizabeth II before anything became official, showing just how carefully these decisions can be managed. King Charles may operate with a looser approach today, but those invisible rules have not disappeared. History must be honored, scandal must be avoided, and certain names can seemingly become radioactive overnight. That is exactly why Andrew has virtually vanished from modern royal baby naming conversations. Reports claim the controversies surrounding Sarah Ferguson and Andrew Mountbatten Windsor made anything associated with severe public backlash increasingly uncomfortable. Yet somehow Princess Eugenie appeared to have more room to maneuver. Why? Distance, position, and freedom. Princess Eugenie sits further down the succession line and does not carry the same full-time working responsibilities, giving Princess Eugenie flexibility that Prince William or Kate Middleton could hardly imagine. But that freedom immediately created another controversy, because the biggest surprise was not simply what the baby was called, it was what the baby would never be called. Princess Eugenie remains a princess, yet Adelaide will not automatically become a royal highness. Even though Adelaide sits 15th in line to the throne, there is no automatic princess title, no HR status, and no official crown roll waiting. The child is simply Miss Adelaide Brooksbank. To outsiders, that can look brutal, almost like a palace rejection, but the explanation goes back more than a century. King George V established title rules in 1917 limiting automatic prince and princess status largely through the male line. When Jack Brooks married Princess Eugenie in 2018, late Queen Elizabeth II did not provide a title that could then flow automatically to the children. That left August Nest and baby Adelaide inheriting the non-royal position of their father. Meanwhile, Princess Beatrix's children exist inside a very different setup. Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi comes from Italian nobility and holds count status, meaning Sienna and Athena may possess noble standing through that paternal line, even while the British monarchy gives them no comparable UK title. The contrast is extraordinary. Two royal sisters, two completely different title systems, and yet neither Princess Eugenie nor Princess Beatrice appears to be charging toward King Charles, demanding something more. Royal author Robert Jobson has argued that the lack of titles can actually become protection rather than punishment, allowing August, Nest, and Adelaide to grow with less public pressure, greater freedom, and the possibility of ordinary careers outside the royal machine. But the privacy strategy carries an even darker undertone when the wider family history is considered. Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice have spent years dealing with the fallout surrounding Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and Sarah Ferguson, caught between loyalty to family and the relentless need to protect their own reputations. Instead of remaining trapped inside that storm, Princess Eugenie constructed an entirely different path, working as an art gallery director and establishing a major part of family life in Portugal with Jack Brooksbank. Reports frame the Lisbon move as a deliberate boundary between the children and endless palace drama. Less London, less scrutiny, more peace. And yet Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice have not vanished. They have increasingly appeared at major public events beside King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, and Kate Middleton, carefully stepping back into royal visibility while protecting what happens behind their own doors. By keeping titles away from August, Nest, and little Adelaide, Princess Eugenie may have achieved something remarkably strategic: connection to the monarchy without surrendering the children completely to it. When Princess Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank finally revealed Adelaide Elizabeth Anina Brooksbank after 14 silent days, the decision suddenly looked bigger than a name. It connected England and Portugal, family history and personal freedom, while quietly suggesting that non-working royals may be rewriting the survival manual entirely. And perhaps that is the real story hiding underneath the adorable announcement. While everyone was staring at the name Adelaide, Eugenie may already have been showing the world exactly how the next generation intends to escape the heaviest parts of royal life.